Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Solo Flow Show for the fifth installment of Booster Stories. We are today here to tell the tale of our adventurers, which are Zalnad, Longfinger, Barrowin of the clan Under, Aramithiniel Embergleam, but everybody calls him Ember, and the person they have met on their way, Karuk Ironsword, a ranger. And, well, Cleo. Cleo is Karuk's hawk. So, since this is not the first broadcasting, but the second, I will do a quick recap of what happened last time before we start. Our adventurers were in the wild, searching for the influence of a baleful beholder. The beholder, as we know, is some kind of dangerous creature and had forced away the people from Zalnad. Zalnad's people coming from the hills and the plains in the vicinity and had to leave as refugees to Baldur's Gate since the beholder had taken his place there. During their wanderings, they have met a Gloomstalker, Karuk, a dwarf, who, contrarily to what I said last time, is not a she but a he. And Karuk and his hawk have joined the party to fight together. But Karuk told them, "Oh, beware, guys. Yes, there might be a beholder here, but as far as he knew, there was also some Demogorgon roaming the sides." And during the night, they all had a dream sent by a djinn who offered to give them a lot of money or riches if they were to exact revenge upon a Xorn of his enemies. A Xorn being an earth elemental, some kind of earth elemental that tend to carry around a lot of gems and include them in their body. Anyhow, they now know that in the vicinity are quite a lot of danger. All these three creatures are in the vicinity of the Hill of the Lost Souls. That's where they are right now. So nearby that hill, all these three creatures have been lurking, maybe knowing each other, maybe independently of each other. They have no way of knowing up to now. And that's not counting what's coming at them in the new booster. So, here's the new booster, still fresh, completely fresh, still new, and we're gonna open it and see what's going to happen with our adventurers and what adventure may stalk upon them. All right, so we have a dragon. That's a nice dragon card. Maybe if I put it here, you see it better. It's really nice looking card. And apparently our heroes will start by fighting with a small swamp. So, last time they were in the vicinity of the Hill of the Lost Souls, in the plains, seeing the hill in the back. And they don't know for sure, but Karuk meant that there is quite a big possibility that they have to get to that hill to find the lair of the beholder, or at least of the Demogorgon. Everybody in the party seems to think that the Demogorgon is working for the beholder, or might even have been invoked by the beholder himself. These are really dangerous and very magical creatures. And since they know that in a swamp you have to try to watch your steps but be aware at the same time of what happens in the sky, they are not surprised when somehow directly behind them a displacer beast appears. Displacer beasts are quite dangerous monsters because they can teleport at a whim and attack one moment in your back, teleport out of way, wait a bit and make some kind of guerrilla tactics. And they are not cornerable. You can put them in a corner and attack them and surround them, which is bad because that's actually Xanad's favorite tactic. Come back in the back of a creature and stab it when it doesn't know what's coming at it. So they have to improvise. Since they are in a swamp, there is not a lot of weaponry around that you could use to improvise. But the ranger has an idea. Karuk just had the first attack on him and knew what he had to fight right now. It was a displacer beast, and he knew if they wanted to survive the encounter more or less unscattered, they had either to use weaponry that the creature wasn't expecting or to bait that creature into something. So after the first attack and the displacer beast having disappeared away from the whole thing, they started to build a small mound out of riches they had with them. Gold pieces, a few gems, and a lot of stuff to eat, and expected the beast to attack. And it worked quite well, but in the meantime they found an old tree, gnarled. Not really a nice tree, but you are in a bog, in a swamp, so you wouldn't expect a nice tree going straight up. This one was all the way around. And the magician, Ember, thought to span a cord, to span a rope between two of the parts of the tree, and to magically enhance the whole thing with some kind of glyph that would quadruple the energy that would be put into the rope, using it as a kind of catapult and targeting directly at the mound with the food and the whole riches. They waited for the displacer beast that is somewhere down here. They waited for the displacer beast to attack again, and soon enough the beast appeared again, but had probably sensed or known that food was somewhere to be found, easy food, something not to be fought over, and appeared directly in front of the whole thing. It was perfect for them, and they thought they might use it immediately and shot at the creature. And it happened quite good. In one shot, the creature fell down and had no time to displace itself out of harm's way. So they could go on and try to speak to the creature. No, not to speak. Try to loot the creature. The improvised weaponry had worked perfectly, but in the last seconds of the combat, the creature disappeared, wanting to die somewhere else than here. So, no loot for our adventurers. You could say at least they got the experience point, sure. But to be honest, Karuk was kind of disappointed. Ah, friends, it was a displacer beast. I hoped I could get something from it. Yes, for sure. I also expected it to have something at least to eat there, or at least some gold pieces, or maybe a magical object. That would have been nice. Yes, that would have been nice. I would have been satisfied with having some of its skin. You can use the skin of a displacer beast to make some quite interesting enchantments on, well, armor, hide armor, or any kind of investment, actually. Oh, yes, right. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Oh, I need to think about that in the future. Next time, I'll try to get that. If it's worth something, it's worth taking. Ah, dear friends. It's a lesson we've been taught. Believe me, I am the oldest here, and I'm sure we should go on and try our luck later on. Let's get out of this swamp and go to the hill that's awaiting for us a bit farther away. And that's what they did. And along the way, they happened to arrive on a glade. They were not in a big forest or anything, but still the trees were forming a perfect round circle with no trees and a small a small pond in the middle. Having seen that pond, they approached. If they had a druid with them, they would have known, well, that's probably the best place for a pixie to hide. So they just went in, and they didn't know, but a pixie appeared. Hello, sweet people. You are a mix of race, quite non-habitual. That's something I've never seen. A few dwarves with a halfling and an elf. Well, well, well. That is a strange sight. Welcome to my glade. Welcome to my pond. I am Trixie the Pixie, and I am so glad that you have come to pay your respects. What? Respects? What is she talking about? Well, my old friend, let's be friendly. You never know. Maybe there's a way to be friendly with this pixie and not fight our way through. Well, if it can bleed, you can kill it. Yes, you can. It doesn't mean you have to, though. Maybe we could buy her out or make a friend out of it. Well, what do you think will be the price of her loyalty? Oh, well, dear friend, my loyalty is not for sale, but I love gifts. Do you have any gifts for me? Oh, maybe I have something. I made you a ring out of small herbs and flowers. Look at it. I know it's small, but you're not big anyway. Is it something you would like? Well, dear friends, that's a start. The last person that came to me and wanted to drink from my pond and wanted to be part of my wonderful life was a wandering troubadour. And this troubadour, probably some kind of skald or bard, just wrote the sweetest of all songs. Haha! Sweetest of all songs? Let us hear. please do. I love a good song about beer and something to eat. Oh no, my dear friend. It was not such a song. He was just making compliments to me all the time in his song. I think it went like that. Oh, my dear Pixie, you fly like a Pegasus. You are as strong as a dragon and as sweet as a fae. We will love you till the end. We will perish for your end. Please tell me that you love me, and I shall love you too. And that's just the beginning. It was really nice. He described the whole fight of me on a Pegasus. How I defeated a young green dragon. Something not too big, but something I could have done. Because you might know that and do not know that, but I am a very strong magician, and I am married to one of the strongest creature in this world. I have been married to a troll. You can't see him right now because it's during the day. During the day, he prefers to be somewhere far away from the sun. But he's very sweet to me, and at the same time, he's very dangerous, very protective. He nearly killed that troubadour for writing such wonderful things about me. And then he was kind of bad to me, saying I never had killed that dragon and I shouldn't be accepting that kind of stuff from a stranger. Anyhow, this is now the last card. Oh, not really the last card, but I'll show you the last one later on. It's a bit strange. Anyhow, what are you doing in the vicinity? Well, Pixie Trixie, we are searching for a Xorn. A Xorn? Oh, yes. You are not really in luck. I don't like Xorns, but my husband, the troll, he's running with them. They don't get along really well. Maybe if you were to wait until tonight and arrive as if you didn't know me and speak to my husband, I would help you not having him attack you. Bring something to eat. He's always grumpy when he wakes up and before he gets something to eat. Just wrote something small, like, I don't know, like a boar or something like that, and he will be happy to see you. And then he will tell you what to do. The adventurers go about themselves and think, well, sure, well, it's still better than fighting with the troll, but worst case scenario, if it attacks us, we are four, we have our chances, and we know how to fight trolls. The regeneration is always the worst problem, but we know how to deal with that. So, they left and kept the Pixie to her things and tried to get around and search for things that would lead them to the Xorn. If he had left any clues of his whereabouts. So they started to go around the glade and in the forest, and in the forest they saw that parts of the forest were completely destroyed, like if an enormous river of acid had gone through the whole forest. And the ranger, Karuk, knew exactly what it was. I know exactly what it was. This must be an ooze, one of those dreaded creatures that feeds upon everything. And man, I mean everything, even the stones they touch, they try to eat. Very dangerous. But be sure that we can fight one. Just you have to know you can't slice them, because if you try to cut them in half, you will do that, but you will also end up with two enemies at the same time. So be sure that you use no sword, no pointy sting, just blunt force. Grab a stick if you need to, shoot it with some arrows that are blunt. Do whatever you want, but do not cut it. Oozes are not really very intelligent, and they are a big risk if you don't know that they are here, because they tend then to fall on your head and start digesting you at the same time as soon as they touch you. But in the wild, when you have a ranger with you, it's quite easy to find its spur, to find the way it went, because it leaves a big trace. So they followed it slowly to be sure that they were not being attacked in the back, and rounded it up. The jelly ooze was in the middle of a very small glade, eating the rest of what looked like probably a badger or something that must have been dead a few days, but you could never know with the acid eating it, sometimes even alive. They coordinated an attack, and it was quite easy to get rid of the ooze. And when that was done, they went back to the glade of Trixie the Pixie to have a chat with her troll of a husband. It was nearly sundown when they had put their tents on in the vicinity of the small pool, had made a small fire, and roasted some game that they had found on the way. The ranger was a good shot and had the opportunity to shoot down a creature to eat. So later on, Trixie and her husband went out of his cave, and the first thing they heard was a big roar of a hungry troll. But somehow the smell of the meat on the fire brought him friendly enough just to them, and Zalnad was there to speak to him.
Well, hello, Lord Troll. We are sorry to intrude on your glade. We have spoken in the past with Trixie, your lady. A charming lady, we have to say. Not too charming, don't worry. But we know she's your wife. She told us you like food, and we brought you some food. Would you like something for your... I'll call it breakfast, even if it's in the evening.
That looks good. It smells good. What do you want with me?
Oh, just talk. Here, have your food.
And within seconds, it looked like as if the troll had inhaled the game they had taken so much time to cook, but it seemed satisfied with it. Good food you brought me. What do you want with me?
Well, we have heard that you had troubles with the Xorn, and we wanted to know if you might help us find it, like push us in the right direction.
Well, what do you want with the Xorn?
Um, Actually, we want to get rid of it. We want to make the whole vicinity here much easier to leave, and maybe we want some of his stones. They tend to carry a lot of stones around.
Well, I don't care for no stone, but I don't like that guy, that Xorn. Very, very aggressive and hurtful. I don't like when, well, he's not friendly. If you were to give me some more food, maybe we could have an agreement and go hunt the thing together.
Well, my dear husband, now you're pushing too far. Oh, no, that's all right. We still have some iron ration we could share. I have some bread that is still edible, but do you want to have it?
Let me smell it.
So
Zanat brought his day-old bread. Something so hard you probably could throw it at a guard and knock him out just with the bread. But the troll seemed to like it. His eyes went bigger and bigger and was like, oh, bread. That's been a while. And soon the bread was completely done and over. So, let's go on the hunt.
Dear Troll Lord, that's something we would prefer to do during the day.
No way. That's no time for me. If you want to hunt it, we hunt it now. It never sleeps anyway. It's an elemental. They do not sleep, so doesn't matter if it's day or night. You won't get it that easily. And I know where to find it and how to fight it. And I am a strong troll lord.
Oh, for sure. Then let's go. Karuk, can you lead the way?
Well, if the troll lord were to tell me in which direction, I would find afterward quite easily. It's that direction. Come with me. And with the beginning of the night, everywhere the night owls and the night vegetation and the night creatures were starting to roam the forests and the plains and the whole nature, they started their trek. They were quite tired because they had already done a day of walking, but the troll was in a good mood. Apparently the food had helped a lot, and showed them the way to some kind of opening, small opening actually. The elf had to go on his knees to get through the hole. So some kind of small hole in the hill of the lost souls. But he reassured them that they did not have to go in, that they would probably only have to make some noise and get the creature out. That's where Karuk had an idea and told them, it's a creature of stones and gems. Probably it is protective of the stones of its lair. Let's just steal some stones from the entrance of his lair and might get out to get them back. So we could ambush it in the end.
Oh, that's a good idea, said Zalnat. I love a good ambush.
Ambush. Not very friendly, but well, if it helps, it helps. And as easy said as done, the troll started to grab into the lair and steal some stones. And it didn't took long time for the Xorn to come out from wherever he was, and with a rage that you could not imagine, shout, "Let my friends go! You are the worst!" And realizing that all around him, creatures not friendly were there and attacked him even in their back. The sneak attack from Zalnad was the first to land directly behind its head. Didn't seem to be very dangerous, but it dislodged a very big diamond, and that's probably the reason why Zalnad had tried to get its sword or short sword, its dagger, at that point to dislodge it. It didn't seem to be where its soul was or anything. Nothing but the damage happened to the Xorn from losing this diamond. But having 5 enemies around him, 2 of them magicians, a fighter, and a troll, was kind of a no-brainer. The Xorn had no chance. So the Xorn was slain, and quite easily at that. The Gloom Stalker and the Rogue went as the smallest characters and the more interested in the riches, went into the cave and brought back a lot of gems. Each one had a few gems in each hand, so it was definitely worth their time and effort. It was also worth allying to a troll. A troll that seemed to get hungrier by the minute. So Karuk first. So Karuk decided to go hunting as soon as possible, while the others enthuses the troll, and he was quick enough to bring some food back to have the troll keep quiet and stay friendly. Still, the group wasn't quite happy about what happened, because the Jinn had said they would get some kind of reward from him after having killed the Xorn. So they were kind of surprised that nothing had happened yet. But they went back to the glade, gave their regards to Trixie and her troll lord, and spent the rest of the night sleeping what they could sleep at last. And it's in their sleep that the Jinn came back to them. Well, my friends, I have seen, well compensated in gems. So what I will offer you is something quite different. I will allow you to use one of my servants. And I want to say this was in the pack. So I have a Kamigawa pack in a D&D pack. Now I'm quite surprised about that. I need to read about that later on. So I will let you invoke and use as a servant my Root Runner for a few times. Be assured that Root Runner works better in the woods, as the root in the name says. It could help you find a better path through dangerous forests, but it could also help you if you were to come into contact with some kind of feral or barbaric elves that do not accept anybody in their forest or something like that. Anyhow, you now have the chance to contact this root runner from another plane of existence and access his wisdom and services for 3 times. I know it's not a wish, but you'll see, it's probably worth it. As a token of my gratitude, let's have these 3 twigs, and you only have to crack open one of these twigs to summon the root runner. Have a good night of sleep, and I am forever friendly to you. I am grateful that you have taken care of my enemy. Thank you very much, and who knows, I might call upon your help in the future again. Sleep tight, adventurers. So we have been through with the booster now. I'm really, I find it really strange that I have a root runner, a Kamigawa card, but you see it's not typical. They had not that on the Kamigawa cards by now, back in the days, so I have no clue why they would include that in here. And I am really, I really don't know how you would use that in a draft, for example. It's kind of strange. As I said, I will read upon that and tell you tomorrow. So we have Trixie and a Lord troll friend, husband actually, and Xorn and an ooze have been fought today, this afternoon. That will conclude our second part of this story, and we will continue on this story now that the vicinity of the glade is a bit less dangerous. We will continue on Tuesday at 4, like we always do, to tell the tale on how the vicinity of the Hill of the Lost Souls got rid of all the dangerous creature, and maybe sometimes the folk of the halfling folk might come back and take back their ancestral land once the danger has been taken off and the good news has been brought to Baldur's Gate. Anyhow, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you are on YouTube right now, please like the video, because if you have been up to this point, that's that you like the video. So it would tremendously help if you would like the video, if you would subscribe to the channel, if you would share the video to your friends. That's even better. And if you didn't like it, please recommend this video to your enemies. Who knows, they might like it. Anyhow, thank you for watching. Thank you for being live with me. I'll stay in the chat for a few minutes if you have any questions. And have a nice day. See you on Tuesday. Bye bye.